Big things are happening in the small town of Conway. Learn about this Saturday's Christmas parade and the new executive director of the Chamber of Commerce. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning with the Myrtle Beach Herald. We're focused on the Conway, South Carolina Chamber of Commerce, and we're visiting with its executive director, Bridgette Johnson. Good morning, Bridgette.
Good morning, Greg. How are you?
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
In festive attire,
yes.
Red. We're getting close to Christmas.
That's right. I wore it just for today. So
that's sweet.
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity to get you in. You know, Renee Wickstrom, who's been helping out with the show recently, said Bridgette's just taken on this new position at the Conway Chamber within the last couple of months. Yeah,
this is. I started September 15th. It was my first day, so I'm brand new, breaking in.
Well, you're not brand new. You're a Conway native, so this is old hat to you.
Well, Conway's an old hat to me. Yeah, it's my hometown, so it's been a really good experience, a good opportunity to promote my home team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, of course, yourself, so you growing up in Conway, have you stayed here throughout?
I stayed here. Yes, I have. I graduated from Coastal. I went to Columbia for just 4 years. I worked on a graduate program there and worked on my master's, taught school there for a year after I finished my master's, and then came back home to be with my family and raise my children here.
Oh, yeah, those are big words, but we can't get to children yet. We need to find out, what were you studying there in Columbia? What did you end up graduating in here at Coastal?
I double majored in English and secondary education, so I could have taught school, high school English. I went to graduate school and got my master's in journalism and mass communications with an emphasis in public relations.
Great.
And I worked for a while with LHWH. Well, actually 8 years with LHWH.
Yeah, that's not a while. Yeah. That's a lifetime.
That's a lifetime, yeah.
That's Lesnick, Himmelsbach, Wilson, and Hurl.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you know, we've enjoyed, we actually filmed at LHWH, golly, about a year and a half ago or so. It was in February, and it was fascinating, focused on the art project that was going on in the back. I can't remember what it was called, but a fascinating thing they put together, and really a amazing, eclectic group that have had Andy on a number of times. He's such a superstar in the whole firm.
He is. He's a great guy. Very balanced.
That's right.
Very
Listen
balanced.
to that word. That sounds like Baba. I mean, excuse me, balanced. Those flow well together.
Yeah.
Golly, Bridgette, it's amazing to think. And, of course, 8 years there. What were some of the things you were doing at LHWH here in the community that have helped position you for this new position?
Well, basically, we were very proactive in getting media coverage for a number of clients. Several of them were, we worked with banks, healthcare facilities, golf equipment. When I first came in 8 years ago, I didn't know a thing about golf. I'm not a golfer, but I can tell you anything you need to know about a pair of golf shoes or a putter, a Sticks putter, or Lady Fairway golf shoes, or Square 2 clubs. But we just, you learn so much about different products, and then you're just trained how to promote those products to people you don't know. And so we work with national, regional, and local media to get coverage for these clients. And to be so proactive and to be so results and timeline oriented has really helped me to be prepared for this position, because I feel like we need to be results oriented in the chamber as well.
Oh, absolutely. We've got a lot to talk about the chamber, but that aspect of, share with the viewers a little bit what it's like helping a company, a for-profit company, go out and get what's oftentimes considered, public relations is oftentimes considered like free advertising.
Right.
How do you go about, let's say, pick one of the companies that you would have helped out at LHWH. How do you go about helping them get the word out and that the press will really find it of interest?
Let's take, for example, Lady Fairway golf shoes.
Yeah.
This was a company that started, Donko Jones was actually the founders of Lady Fairway golf shoes. Jimmy Jones, it was his wife, and she is on the PGA, Ladies PGA golf tour. And so he decided, he was actually in running shoes. He sold running shoes. So he decided that he wanted to create golf shoes for women. And so using her as as a guide to help him. That's how he got started. So we helped him from the beginning, and I didn't come in at the beginning. I didn't help him, but they really helped him craft his message. You get together, you decide what a firm wants or what a company wants to do, what they want to sell, and you help them craft that message, and you create a news story for them. And that, through press releases, through relationships, it's all based on your relationships with the golf media, and in his case it was a golf and business in media. By calling these folks, talking to them, you don't push them, you just befriend them, find out what they're working on, and then you just sift him into your talk with them. And we were on the ground running for him and getting him stories in national magazines, and it's, as soon as you get your name out nationally, you roll that regionally, locally. Look where he's been, look where he's at.
So on the local and regional level, you talk about his or her coverage in a national.
Right, and we would go to the PGA shows in Florida. It's the largest golf show. It's over like 3 million square feet at their big conference center in Orlando, Florida. And we would go there, and we would find these golf writers, which were key top golf writers, bring them to his booth. He was so busy with the wholesalers there. We were actually telling his story and selling his shoes for him in his booth because we knew it as well as he did. So it was a great product, and it's awfully fun to be with the company from the ground up, and because you learn to love that person as well as love their product and wear them, and we wore them.
All around the office, everywhere.
We wore them at that PGA show, yeah.
That is huge, Bridgette. Well, that makes it sound like every company, small company or large, really needs a good PR arm.
Absolutely.
Needs somebody out there. That's incredible. And of course, Mary Edie's been with us a number of times, and other folks in the public relations industry, and trying to explain that basic aspect. It seems like a heck of a lot of folks could garner a heck of a lot more than they're getting in the marketplace with good public relations.
Right. If you don't have a large advertising budget, public relations is the way to go, because you can hire an advertising firm or a private consultant and pay them a retainer program, say, $3,000 to $5,000 a month, and within that month, you can garner so much publicity that when you add up the amount of money that you would have spent on that coverage had it been advertising, you may get a return on your investment 20 to 1. Where if you'd have bought an ad, and I hate to say this, but if you'd have placed an ad in a golf magazine, you may have spent $75,000 a pop. So you're really getting a great return on your investment if you have a small advertising budget. So.
That sounds like I need to get rid of the Herald and the TV station and get into public relations. Yeah, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a great business. It really is. You learn a lot of good people, and you really learn how to find the good in everything. And it's not all fluff.
And some of those key qualities, and obviously, again, remember, focus on the Conway Chamber, and I won't take anything away from that, but the key qualities of a good public relations professional would be, what would be the top couple of qualities that someone would need to have?
First of all, I think you have, right off the top, you need chemistry with the person. And if you feel that you have good chemistry with that person, you just imagine them talking to the people they need to make stories with. Right. And, if I'm going to be calling Newsday or New York Times, I need to be aggressive enough, proactive enough, have my ducks in a row enough that when I call them, I know exactly how I'm going to say it and in a manner in which to say it. And if you feel that chemistry with me, automatically talking with me, I feel that that's the most important thing, because you're a team. You have to work as a team. I'm not going to be telling you what to do. You're not going to be telling me what to do. We work as a team to reach your business goals. So automatically, and then, they need the backup to show what they've done, and the portfolio to show you where their work has been, obviously.
And that's an important aspect to think about for someone who's thinking about hiring a public relations firm. They need to say, I'm going to commit funds, and then that firm's going to be able to show me not really where those funds have gone, because you're not buying ad schedules, but you really kind of do show, our time was spent here on your behalf.
Right. Well, you report back to them, and you automatically up front tell them where their target areas really need to be, and you focus on those times, and then you do report back your time that you spent, because you are on a retainer program and you draw down on your hours. So
that is very interesting. So a lot of folks will contact an agency like LHWH or Branded or Otherwise, folks that have both agency and public relations firms say, I don't care about your agency. I want to focus on the public relations side. Is that pretty common?
Right. Well, it just depends on their advertising and their advertising budget, because you can make a good splash, a good branding splash with advertising, but if you don't have that budget, really PR is the way to go. It's best to work them all together, but if you don't have a large budget, you will get your money's worth in PR.
Well, that's
Absolutely.
great, Bridget. Good. I'm glad you're selling the story for a number of the PR folks who...
Yeah, I mean, you get that third-party endorsement, you know.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Share with viewers what it's like since September 15th. We're talking right at 3 months now. We're now almost in mid-December. Am I getting those numbers right? Yeah, October, November, mid-December.
Right.
And a lot going on, of course, this weekend. We want to focus on the big, I guess, the parades this Saturday.
Right.
Of course, you've got the home show or the revitalization that started on the 8th and goes for another...
Right. We have our Christmas parade coming up this Saturday, December 11th. We have a number of floats, decorated floats. We have the local dignitaries, beauty queens. We even have Marilyn Monroe making an appearance. And, of course, Santa Claus is going to be there. And that is going to be from 10 o'clock. It starts out on 16th Avenue, down Main Street. And it's just going to, there's over 100 entries. So it's going to be a great parade, great parade.
Now, if we had a viewer coming in from Lumberton or Laurinburg who wanted to know where they need to go to set up to get the best view of that, and I assume you invite folks from all over, all communities to come into Conway. Absolutely.
I would say pick any spot down Main Street.
Okay.
Down Main Street between 16th and 12th Avenue. I always parked on Main Street.
Right.
So, but yeah, it'll be... It may even at one point take up the entire Main Street, the parade entry, so it'll be a great, anywhere you pick on Main Street will be a great viewing area.
And that is vital. For a viewer who's coming in, let's say from the PD, they're traveling down 501, they want to take a left there.
Left at Hardee's, which is 16th Avenue.
Okay.
Take a left there and come on down right on Main Street and get there early because traffic will be blocked off. So you need to find your spot fairly early.
That's great. Bridget, for a viewer needed to take off to get to school or to work or otherwise, what's the best phone number for someone to call to learn about some of the upcoming events within the Conway area? I
would suggest calling us at the chamber. The number, if you're out of state or out of our local area, 843-248-2273. Just give us a call. We'll be glad to tell you as much as we can about Conway. As you mentioned earlier, we do have a Main Street program in Conway, a very strong revitalization program.
Yeah.
And they do a downtown Christmas function every year, and it's every Thursday up until the 16th of December. So we've got a couple of more weeks doing that. We have Santa Claus out there, and he will travel around. As a matter of fact, last week he was down at the Blackwater Market getting his pictures made with the kids. He had breakfast, or actually dinner, with the kids at our new California Pizza in Conway.
Santa Claus did.
Santa Claus did.
Get
yeah.
down, CPK.
Yeah. So we have a new California Pizza there on the Blackwater Market. So he was there dining with the children. That was a great event. So he's going to travel around and be at different places each Thursday. The merchants will stay up until 8 o'clock. So we're really pushing Christmas shopping downtown Conway.
That is wonderful, Bridget. Well, I need to get over to Conway, and our viewers need to get in from the PD. That's huge.
Do. There's a lot of great shops downtown Conway, clothing shops, jewelry shops, art galleries. A lot of artists have come down and made Conway their home, which a lot of them are Conway natives, and have set up shop down there. So a lot of great talent downtown Conway.
You had a big presence in the recent past, within the last couple months, and I know Stephen from Main Street USA was in talking about that. It was right on the heels of that, where the folks from SCE TV were in town filming. They were in town live downtown Conway. Of course, they were in Myrtle Beach a good bit.
Right.
All over the county. What was that like, Bridget? Had you yet taken over?
I had not taken over.
You were not yet there, right.
Taken over at that point, but I did see the activities in Conway, and it was phenomenal, the turnout that folks came out and supported what Stephen was doing and participated, and it was just got a lot of good coverage from that. Yeah, very definitely. Now, you talked about coming back from Columbia to be with family. Now, there was family's changed a little bit since then. Family's gotten a little bigger. Yeah. Family's changed. I got married. I met my husband a month after moving back home. Wow. And we dated, and 10 months later we were engaged to be married, and had a December wedding. As a matter of fact, I recently, December 5th, had a wedding anniversary. 6 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But we now have 2 wonderful children, Emma and Eli. Emma will be 3 in January, and Eli will be 2 in February. So they're not quite 13 months apart, but
man,
God bless me is all I have to say.
That's exactly right. Bridgette, how did you do all that? Maintain the position at LHWH and now set the stage for, I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah, well, I had a good company. I was working for a good company, and they really were very supportive in all that has happened to me through my 8-year tenure there.
Right.
They were really very supportive of my wedding planning, baby planning. Baby got pregnant again. So,
wow.
so you know.
Yes.
So anyway, it was a lot to go through, but
now,
they were great.
Yeah, that, and of course, both your children's names begin with E, and of course, you and I share that aspect. It's my daughter, Emma Claire. But you know, when you think of it, I think I saw online, or when the little bio on you, it was Elijah. So y'all call him Eli.
We call him
Elijah.
Eli.
Forgive
Elijah,
me.
right, yeah.
How exciting.
Yeah.
How exciting.
Yeah, Emma is my grandmother's name. And we had been trying a long time to get pregnant with Emma. And my grandma was very ill, and I just prayed about it. And I said, if it's meant for me to get pregnant, I will. If not, my grandma's going to be my baby. I'll look after her. And when she died, I was pregnant.
Oh, wow.
So my grandma was Emma, so Emma was named after my grandmother.
That's fantastic,
Yeah.
Bridgette. That's a great story. Share with the viewers, of course, over the last 3 months, lots happened, and I think you're doing a weekly, or maybe that's not regular, but I've seen something in the Orient Independent.
Right.
Steve Robertson's got you in there. And, of course, Steve was with us last month or the month before for a whole hour. We had him on Thursday and Friday.
Wow.
We did a whole hour with Steve, and, of course, tomorrow Don Weaver's with us, so we couldn't do you for an hour and cut Don out, but we had that aspect of having somebody for an hour really gave us an insight into Conway that I hadn't seen in a long time. And of course, Steve's an amazing character. Share with viewers what it's been like the last 3 months now, almost 3 months to the T, setting up your new, or really helping reestablish the executive director's position there at the Conway Chamber.
Right. My main goal is to really put a face on the chamber and to get out more and promote Conway with other chambers and to work. We basically have what we call a chamber coalition where I'm working with the Myrtle Beach Chamber, North Myrtle Beach, Little River, Laura Sainer. We get together, we collaborate, share activities, share ideas. We're meeting on ATAX monies, and you know, it's nice to be able to work towards the same goal, and that is promoting our area. There's no need to compete. We're all here for the same purpose. But in my dealings with, and another thing is to really membership retention. We would like to grow our membership, but we also want to keep the membership that we have. So my goal is to really focus on how to give back to our membership. I have met with a number of members and talked to them about, you know, what is it that the chamber can do for you? What have we been doing? What can we do to be, you know, to make our relationship with you stronger? You know, to make you more successful in your business. And a lot of times the chamber really doesn't the members really don't understand what the chamber can do for them.
Right, yeah.
So coming from my PR background,
right.
Many times when I meet with these folks, we walk away with 2 or 3 or 4 press releases to write for them to at least promote locally for them what they're doing, what they have going on as a business, or if they have an expansion, or if they're running a special, or if they're selling Christmas trees.
Right.
You know, we've done it for clubs, so that's a new member benefit that we're trying to help our members with. But we have an ambassadors program this year that we've implemented for the first time, and these folks will also go out and talk to these members and ask them, you know, what are things we can do for you? And based on what we gather from these, we want to come up with more compelling member benefits to make them want to stay and be involved and get involved in the chamber, support the chamber.
And to tell their friends who aren't chamber members that this is why you need to be involved. And that PR aspect is so important. I'm glad you brought that up. We got about 7 minutes. But I wanted to ask you a quick question for some of those smaller businesses that you haven't yet called on, or ones that are members you just haven't had a chance to see them yet, to remind them of how important their membership is. What are some of the things that they could be doing right now to help promote their business? There's some basic things from that PR background. What are the most important, let's say the top couple of things that they need to be doing to get the word out about their business on that PR side?
Right. Well, you know, coming from a public relations background, your local newspaper is the way to go. Any local newspaper, whether you're and we do work closely with the Orient Independent because it is our Conway paper. But if you can identify, like if you have a special that you're running, or you have an expansion to your building, or you have a new service that you're offering, if you can answer the 5 questions, who, what, when, where, and why, and put that in a paragraph format, or just email it to me, fax it to me, I'll put it in a paragraph format, and we'll send it out through our office.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's no big deal for us to do that for them and distribute it to the Myrtle Beach Herald, to the Horry Independent, the Sun News, and to the television stations. That's what we're here for. We really want to be a PR leg for our membership.
Right.
And, you know, we've been extremely happy to do that for a number of our members already. So another way to do that is just word of mouth. If you've got folks coming in, talk it up with them. Talk it up. And I know a number of places do that already. But it's just, if your frontline people are trained to talk up what you want to move in your shop, or what you want to promote in your shop, your frontline people should be the priority. Right. So, and if you're the shop owner, then, you know, they're doing that. So. And
all Chamber of Commerces are in that same avenue. If a small shop in Conway, if they're a member of the Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce and send something over, I mean, their effort is also to promote no matter who the chamber member is, whether it's a large one like Knight Ridder, like the Sun News here, or a small one like the Myrtle Beach Herald. I mean, their avenue is still to help promote their business. Right. And you know, it doesn't matter your budget or the size of the business. If you're a member of the chamber, it's all an even playing field, you know. And we want to, I mean, I want to go out and meet as many members as I can, face to face, just so they know who I am. They can feel comfortable with us. I work with 2 Kellys, the Kellys, Kelly James and Kelly Long in the office, and most of the members do know Kelly, and Kelly Long is our membership coordinator. She goes out a right good bit already, and she's over this ambassadors program, so a lot of them are familiar with Kelly, but I too want to get in that mix and have them be familiar with me, so that there's more than just one person they can come to at the chamber if they have a problem or need something. 248-2273 for chamber members, or for folks who aren't members but are excited now about what you're talking about. I mean, this is a big deal. Would you ever say there's too many things they could send you, Bridgette? I mean, you know, you may not be able to take advantage of all of it. If they're sending you something every day or every other day, no, there's never too many things you can send. But you know, if you want it to be newsworthy and you want it to make the news, it has to be newsworthy. And we can make it that way. You know, we have to just get together, decide what your goal is, and craft that newsworthy part to it. So. And it's so important, large business or small business, and oftentimes the great thing is there's business that are members of multiple chambers. And I'm so glad you all are working. I know the chairmans or the executive directors breakfast that you all are doing. Brad was with us last month talking about some of the things you all do on a regular basis. But those aspects of groups like the Cypress Inn, you know, Jim and Carol, of course, who won just a big award from the Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce, but obviously well thought of and very active in the Conway Chamber. It's great to see folks really stretch out, and you want folks to be involved in multiple chambers. Absolutely, because the more they learn, we try to learn as much as we can from the Myrtle Beach Chamber. They're a great chamber to follow in their footprints, and the more Jim is involved in the Myrtle Beach Chamber, the more he can bring things back to our table, you know, and we work closely with Brad, so it's nice to have Jim over there. Get him in. We've got, and Jim's a good Carolina People viewer for that matter, so I'm sure he'll be hearing that right now. The Conway Area Chamber of Commerce is holding an annual toy drive between now and the 20th. That was another thing we surely wanted to talk about. Share with viewers real quick. We've got less than 3 minutes. What they need to be thinking about with the toy drive. The toy drive, we divide and donate these toys among 4 different organizations in Horry County. The Horry County Shelter Home, the Children's Recovery Center, Salvation Army, and the Waccamaw Youth Center. So please bring unwrapped toys and items to the chamber office between the hours of 9 and 5, Monday through Friday. We'll be glad to take those toys and deliver them to those 4 different organizations. But that is going on until the 20th, and we're very excited to do that. That's something that they've done every year, and we're going to continue to do that. So. Okay, and again, the parade this Saturday, do you know what time that kicks off? 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is the parade, and you don't want to miss it because it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. It's going to be a huge parade, but great bands, great
like I said, Marilyn Monroe's going to be there. You can't
Right.
miss Marilyn. You can't miss Santa Claus. You got to see Santa Claus.
Man, I'm going
Yeah.
to come out just to see Marilyn.
Yeah, Marilyn's looking good these days.
Yeah,
You know?
I thought you were going to say Elvis will be there too. Maybe
Well,
next year.
maybe
yeah.
next year. Maybe
Yeah.
next year. We'll work on it.
Bridgette, over the last 3 months, so many changes have happened. And of course, it's not that change is really occurring, but that aspect, the change of continuing to bring Conway and commerce together.
Right.
That was a great mantra, a great one to wrap around. And of course, the Independent and that piece you're doing either on a regular basis or irregular basis.
It's weekly. It's weekly. And
Every
it's just
week.
to really educate the community about what we're doing, what we're about, what we can do. We spotlight new members. We spotlight old members. So it's basically just to get our name out. That's some PR that we're doing for ourselves.
When you think back to high school, think back to growing up, obviously being a native of Conway, can you think about, to wrap up, any big inspirations in Conway that have continued to make a difference in your life? It sounds like your grandmother was a huge inspiration for you early on.
She was. Growing up here and meeting so many people here and having just the small town atmosphere. This is a small town that is just taken off, and it has big city panache. I mean, and when you come into town, you see that now. And, I'm working in Myrtle Beach for the last 8 years. I missed a lot of it because I'd passed through, But getting in it and seeing it, it makes me just proud to call this place home, and it makes me extremely proud to be able to promote it as a career. So,
That's great.
Very excited about that.
Bridgette, thanks so much for being with us
Thank
this
you
morning.
so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Bridgette Johnson coming up next. Last 2.5 years, we've had a lot of viewers talking about their hometown. Never have I heard one use the word panache or whatever it is, talking about their hometown, particularly one like Conway. How exciting, that aspect of bringing Conway and commerce together. Just think of those two words. You think about the Department of Commerce, you think about commerce, think about money. It is to help businesses grow. It's a non-for-profit organization to help businesses grow and constantly reach out. You heard about that aspect of wearing those shoes down at a PGA event down in Florida. The aspect of really making a difference. She wants to get in your shoes for your business in Conway and for all areas, whether you're in Laurinburg or Lumberton or Hartsville or out at Camp Coker. The effort is to stretch out, to get in your shoes to help promote your business.